This is Kinda Murdery Insomniac. Stories to stay awake by. Good evening, dearest legion of the bloodshot eye, and welcome to Kinda Murdery Insomniac. Stories to stay awake by. I'm your host, Zevon Odelberg, and tonight I bring you a tale of elder abuse most foul. As always, now is your chance to turn off the show and avoid the upcoming tunnel of macabre and horrible truths. The stories you are about to hear are taken from the Santa Rosa Press Democrat, from two articles. The first published on Friday, November 16, 1984, and the next on Friday, September 15, 1995. These are not for the faint of heart, but if your heart beats steady, let's get to it. An ex-convict accused of killing two tourists on the Mendocino coast in 1982 will stand trial next month for a slaying in Oregon, according to authorities there. Robert Wayne Danielson, 38, formerly of Eugene, Oregon, will be returned to Mendocino County after his trial in Lane County. Danielson has been indicted by Mendocino's grand jury in the slayings of Benjamin Schaefer, 69, and Edith Schaefer, 62, whose bodies were discovered in a coastal ravine last December. The tourists from Yuma, Arizona had been shot execution-style and their bodies dumped off Mountain View Road east of Manchester, according to the Mendocino County Sheriff's Office. The Schaefer's camper and personal belongings were later found in Reno, Nevada. Investigators said Danielson and his girlfriend, a 17-year-old runaway, met the Schaefers at a Mendocino County campground in July 1982. The girl reportedly told authorities that Danielson kidnapped the elderly couple, shot them both in the head, and disposed of their bodies before taking their camper and credit cards. Authorities said Danielson forged Schaefer's signature on credit card purchases in California and Nevada. Danielson is also suspected of 4 other slayings and 2 attempted murders in Oregon, Arizona, and Nevada in 1982. The suspect, who served 7 years in Oregon prisons for manslaughter, is accused of killing a 63-year-old fisherman at a campground in Oregon in June 1982. That fisherman was Arthur Gray of Springfield, Oregon, who was found shot to death at a campground in the Three Sisters Wilderness where he had been staying alone. Lane County Sheriff's investigator Richard Tracy said Danielson's teenage companion also is a witness to the Oregon slaying. She is in protective custody. Danielson's trial on murder charges in the Gray case is set for mid-December. Tracy said authorities in Mojave County, Arizona, are also looking at Danielson in connection with the gunshot slayings of Harold Pratt, 60, and his wife Betty, 55, of Tucson, whose bodies were found at a campsite south of Phoenix in December 1982. He's also accused of killing Ernest Corral, 38, of Apache Junction, who was discovered shot to death in a desert ravine. Danielson is also a suspect in the attempted murder of Edwin and Ida Davis, both 64, of El Cajon, who were robbed and forcibly drugged at a desert campsite east of Las Vegas. To discover what became of the campground killer, Robert Wayne Danielson, we turn once again to the Santa Rosa Press Democrat on September 15, 1995, 13 years after the Schaefers were killed. Robert Wayne Danielson, the campground killer, was convicted of the slayings of Edith and Benjamin Schaefer in 1986, and quickly became the first person in 3 decades of county history to be sentenced to the gas chamber. He was arrested almost 2 years after the Schaefers disappeared from a campground near Manchester. His accomplice and girlfriend testified that she helped Danielson tie up the couple, then watched while he shot them execution-style and stole their camper. Danielson, who had served time for manslaughter in an Oregon state prison, later was convicted of robbing and killing a man at an Oregon campground the same year. Danielson's mother also gained celebrity when she attempted to pass her son a loaded revolver as he walked through the Mendocino courthouse during his trial. Mary Ann Bishop, Mother Dearest, was convicted of abetting her son's escape attempt and was sentenced to 3 years in prison. Danielson, who was transferred to San Quentin in 1986, was found hanging in his cell the morning of September 7th. He had fashioned a noose from a tube sock and was pronounced dead in the prison infirmary at 7:10 a.m. Mothers palming guns for their sons in courtrooms and nooses made of tube socks certainly qualify this Insomniac story as one of the more garish and sensational that we've covered. And now, dear Legion, before I let you go to your eyes wide open lack of restful dreams, I'd like to take a moment to tell you about my good friends Todd, Shawn, and Nate from the Middle-Aged and Creeped Out podcast. If you like your stories dark, and I know you do, if you like them paranormal, if you like them creepy, but you also like them family-friendly and just about as horrifying as 3 middle-aged guys from Indiana can handle, then Middle-Aged and Creeped Out is the show for you. I love it. I think you will too. So please find Middle-Aged and Creeped Out wherever you get your podcasts. It's a really fun show, but you don't have to take my word for it. Let's hear what the guys have to say for themselves.
Hey guys, this is Todd, Shawn, and Nate, and we are from the Middle-Aged and Creeped Out podcast. We drop full episodes every Wednesday night or Thursday morning, and our middle-aged mini-episodes drop on Saturday afternoons at 3 o'clock.
And if you enjoy discussions about the paranormal, weird, unexplained, and just plain creepy, then check out our show. You can find us however you listen to your favorite podcasts. If you like what you hear, don't hesitate to give us a 5-star rating and review. Telling a friend, family member, or even a coworker about us helps the show.
And you can also find us on Facebook and Instagram by searching Middle-Aged and Creeped Out. And our TikTok is @Mako Podcast, and that's with 2 A's.
Well, Nate, what do you think?
That's the end of our promo, and that's a wrap.
Well, there you go. So until next time, creepies, Nate is your sound engineer. We are your hosts, Todd and Shawn.
And they are middle-aged and creeped out. Keep it creepy.
That was Middle-Aged and Creeped Out. And this was Kinda Murdery Insomniac. Stories to stay awake by. I'm your host, Zevon Odelberg. Good night.
Kinda Murdery Insomniac is created, researched, edited, produced, and hosted by Zevon Odelberg, with opening theme by Niall Madden and art by the Gin of Lang. Available now on all podcasting platforms. If you like the show, please subscribe, review, and tell your friends. You can find us on social media at Kinda Murdery or email at kindamurdery@gmail.com.